cancer in the lottery, with all the unfortunate diseases that this country faces, Alzheimer, diabetes, high blood pressure,
Right.
what made you choose cancer?
I just feel like that's something that we all dread, whether it's prostate for males or breast cancer for females. It's just something you don't think about, but it can hit anybody at any time of their life. So, and it's one of the most horrific things I think people hear about that scares them of what could happen that there's not much of a cure for yet, besides possibly chemo, which still drains your life. So,
What have you learned from your first book, The Dream of the Boy Who Caught 22, going into this book?
what I learned is that my writing style is more of wanting to just dive in as the main character and let the reader be that character for the most part. So what I did with The Dreamer, since it was loosely based on basically my life, it was a lot easier to write, even though it took me a year just finding my voice in the story and trying to recall like a boyhood growing into a man to the age of 22, where this book is basically a span of 6 months where I try to cover 4 years from my first novel or novella.
Was the writing process any different? Did you have to get into a different zone, or
I think
you know,
this one's a little bit darker at parts, even though it has light moments that make you smile and stuff. It has very much dark moments.
what motivated this story?
I just wanted to see a character have two polar opposites of greatness, of happiness, of winning the lottery, and just the sadder moments where money don't mean nothing, which is having a disease or cancer. So I just wanted just the polar opposites of good and bad.
Now, speaking of characters, Marissa, the main character in the book,
Right.
tell us about her a little bit.
Marissa's just a sweet young girl who's 21 years old that, she's still figuring out life, and she just takes the chance of playing the lottery. She happens to win it, and things seems great, although she has so many sorrows and pains in her life of losing her sister due to her being emancipated, and her mom being addicted to prescription pills. She finally feels like something positive is happening in her life, which is winning the lottery. But then in the same 24 hours, she finds out she has cancer. And with knowing that, she kind of, where she thought she was reaching such a high, she goes back to the same lows that she knows about.
Now, she wins the lottery.
Yeah.
Then she's told she has a month to live.
Right.
How do you think most people would handle that situation?
I personally would. I don't even think I would want to live. Just having 28 days and it's over after that for the most part. I don't think I would want to spend. Money means nothing at that point, even though you have an abundance of it. So it's like, do you try to pretend like you're going to have great memories, even though you're going to always think about that in the back of your mind? You're not going to live in the moment. You're upset about your future. There's no optimism of positivity for your future. So I would be just hurt.
Now, during the book, she travels to different places to try and take her mind off,
Right.
Some of the things that she faces. She travels to Paris, Italy, Amsterdam, and then Japan. What made you choose those destinations?
I think those are destinations where it's just culturally different from where she's from in the book, which is like New York. The closest thing might be Tokyo because of the bright lights, but other than that, those are just places that I think they always sound appeasing to those that are from New York, since we feel like we're probably from like the best place. So those are probably the places that are the closest that we've always wished to see. So I figured that would be some cool places for her to go with some group of friends of hers.
Tell us a little bit about her family.
Well, Allison, or Allie is what she's called in the book, is a very sweet girl who you don't find out much about her until like somewhat of the ending of the story, I guess, because although she talks about her, there's not much interaction between them two, since she's in a group home, and because Marissa was emancipated at a young age, well, at 17, when she didn't want to deal with her mom's drug abuse. So throughout the book, you kind of see her emotions of going and dealing with her her emotions and her feelings of longing for those relationships to be stronger than what they are, which is very obsolete. And the only people she really has in her life are her friends.
In her journal.
Right. And her journal.
Does Marissa find love through her travels, or is it tough for her to think of
She
something like that during her
she
condition?
kind of sees somewhat of a relationship possibly brewing, but throughout the book you'll see little twists and turns of what's really happening.
What are your expectations for this novel?
I see it eventually picking up as maybe a New York Times bestseller. To be honest, I think it has that type of potential of the storytelling and how easy of a read and how it can really capture somebody being in the moment of the book. Definitely a page turner.
Where can people contact you and read more of your work at?
You can contact me on Instagram at Brinton Woodall, BrintonWoodall.com. You guys can send me an email. Facebook, I have a personal like page for personally me as a writer and Can't Send a Lottery. And you can find my works on Amazon, Kindle, Barnes and Noble, basically every major platform.
Is there a release date yet for the book?
It's a 3-part series, but the part 1 of Can't Send a Lottery will be released March 21st, and part 2 will be sometime this summer.
Sounds good. We are definitely excited and eager to see the rest of the story develop.
I mean, I can't wait to give you guys the book and let you guys have your opinions on what could happen next.